Paul-Emile Borduas. B. Saint-Hilaire, Quebec, 1905. D. Paris, 1960. Borduas was the most influential Canadian abstract painter. In the E-1940s, influenced by the writings of Surrealist André Breton, he formed a group called the Automatistes, who published their manifesto Ref Global in 1948. It attacked Quebec's conservative art world and Catholic Church and led to Borduas losing his job as a teacher and emigrating to the U.S. His 2 years in New York were productive. Of the first paintings he made there was called Les Signes s'en vont, The Signs Disappear, which summed up his new style. He eliminated objects and used knives to apply paint. Borduas spent his last years in Paris where he concentrated on geometric composition. Lifeline. 1923 enrolls in School of Fine Arts, Montreal. 1928 moves Paris. 1930 returns to Canada as church decorator. 1937 appointed professor of drawing and decoration at the École du Mobile, Montreal. 1946 Borduas Automatistes group holds exhibitions in a series of makeshift galleries. 1953 emigrates to U.S. Lives in Provincetown, then New York. 1955 moves to Paris. 1960 dies in Paris of a heart attack. Painting this picture is typical of Borduas' all-over style. No part of the picture is more important than another. He painted it in Paris where he increasingly began to use white. 1956, acrylic on canvas, 13 by 17 centimeters, private collection. Closer look. Use of a knife. Borduas applied paint with a knife and then dragged it across the canvas, creating lively, blade-like marks. Colors combine in unexpected ways and exciting textures emerge. Twombly. B. Lexington, Virginia, 1928. Twombly is a painter, draftsman, and printmaker. He grew up as part of the abstract expressionist scene. In the early 1950s, he studied at Black Mountain College under Motherwell and Kline, and traveled to Europe and North Africa with Rauschenberg. Twombly, however, developed an idiosyncratic style, based on scribbled and graffiti-like marks, worked in chalk and pencil as well as paint. He is inspired by classical art and mythology, and in 1957 settled in Rome. Many of his paintings have the look of ancient walls and tablets, often with numbers and words appearing in spiky, hesitant hand. Achilles mourning the death of Patroclus. The vigor of the mark-making here verges on a scrawl. It shows the influence of action painting. The act of painting becomes the subject of the image. Here, the turbulence of the marks with their deep color suggests grief, explaining the mourning in the title. 1962, oil and graphite on canvas, 259 by 302 centimeters, Pompidou Center, Paris, France. Jean-Paul Riopelle. B. Montreal, Quebec, 1923. D'Iluxgrus, Quebec, 2002. Riopelle was a leading post-war Canadian abstract artist. In 1943 he enrolled at the École du Mobile in Montreal, where he formed a close association with his instructor Borduas, and with other Canadian avant-garde artists who had formed the Automatistes group. Riopelle settled in Paris in 1947, and became involved in the lyrical abstraction group. During the 1960s, Riopelle worked in a variety of media including ink on paper, watercolors, lithography, and collage, as well as oils. He wanted materials to free him, to dictate the art he would make. In 1969, he also started making sculpture. The hour of the mad spirit in the 1950s, Riopelle made many paintings like this. They have been called his grand mosaics. He used a spatula to create an image that resembles an aerial view of a landscape. 1956, oil on canvas, 46 by 55 centimeters, private collection. Franz Kline. B. Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, 1910. D. New York, 1962. Until the end of the 1940s, Kline was a representational painter, most notably of urban landscapes. In 1950, however, having seen some of his drawings enlarged by a projector, he began to make vigorous, large-scale calligraphic abstract paintings in black and white. His first one-man exhibition at the Egan Gallery, New York, in 1950 quickly led to his recognition as one of the leading abstract expressionists. From 1958, he occasionally introduced strong colors into his works. Why Marion? These bold marks are characteristic of Kline's work with a strong architectural sense. This work relates to an engraving of a clock tower by French artist Charles Marion. 1960–61, oil on canvas, 236 by 196 centimeters, Tate, London, UK. Robert Motherwell. B. Aberdeen, Washington, 1915, D. Provincetown, Massachusetts, 1991. Motherwell was one of the youngest abstract expressionists. While the others painted in a realist style in the 1930s, he was studying philosophy. He started to paint full-time after moving to Greenwich Village in 1941, and by 1944 he was exhibiting at Peggy Guggenheim's Art of This Century gallery. He is most famous for his elegies to the Spanish Republic series, started in 1949. Executed with rapid brushstrokes, they integrate accidental effects, such as spattered paint. In addition to oils, Motherwell also worked in collage and was the only one of the original abstract expressionists to embrace printmaking. A. Iberia No. 2. Motherwell saw this image as a bullfight, the ochre paint representing the sand of the bull ring and the black symbolizing the bulls. 1958, oil on canvas, 120 by 204 centimeters, Tate, London, UK.